There's been a lot of chat about the voice referendum upcoming this weekend over the past few weeks and months, and you've probably seen ads on TV telling you to vote yes, telling you to vote no, and maybe you're not even entirely around what the vote means in the first place. But I think everyone at this point has seen the incredible video from the artist Briggs. You'd know him from AB Original, who put something online, like a funny skit, that really just cut through the bullshit and told everyone exactly what this weekend is about.
I read online that Indigenous people, they don't even want it.
80% of us do.
Okay, but I saw a video of an Indigenous person saying that it doesn't go far enough, and I'd personally like it to go far enough.
Me too. I'd like to go far enough for Indigenous people, for them.
Okay, so you would vote no to this progress so that we can reconvene at an undisclosed point in the future and then go far enough.
So, Briggs, what's your main takeaway this morning for people listening who are on the fence or maybe they're confused about a yes vote?
Going through the comment section is what kind of sparked the idea for this video. You know, I reached out to Nash Edgerton and said, let's just debunk the fears that people have. And, you know, he enlisted, Vic and Jenna, and they came up with this script that kind of spoke about people's fears, like the idea that this is Labor's voice, and it's not. This is an initiative of Indigenous people, Over 80% of blackfellas want an advisory body. They want to have constitutional recognition. It's not complicated and it's not scary, So it's all there if you want it.
Well, if the polls are to be believed, Briggs, that yes, getting up has little chance. Do you still want this to go ahead this weekend?
Well, it has to, we don't, move and retreat because the polls say so. Australia will choose and we'll accept the decision. This is also a reflection of our nation to the rest of the world. How do you want to be perceived with the rest of the countries, the rest of our nations and allies and whatnot?
Briggs, what do you say to white Australians who might be listening to Nova this morning and who agree with the idea of doing more for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, but might see prominent Indigenous figures like Lydia Thorpe saying vote no? What would you say to those people?
I would ask them, I'd ask these white people, when do they ever listen to Lydia Thorpe on any other issue?
Yeah.
When do they listen to these prominent blackfellas on any other issue? They don't. And it feels like a lot of people are using the, quote-unquote progressive no to mask their own, rather than doing a little bit of digging for themselves and understanding. Because the other people who are saying no are also, Peter Dutton, Pauline Hanson, and Clive Palmer and other out and proud racists. So is there a progressive no? I don't think so. History is not going to remember who was a progressive no or a racist no. They're just going to remember who said no. And that's a line in the sand.
I saw another thing, Briggs. I don't know if you've seen this one. It talks about knowing the company you're in, and it's the names there that you just mentioned, like your Clive Palmers and your Pauline Hansons, and who are out and out saying no. And then it's going through the list of sporting legends who are saying yes. Some of the people that we look up to most in this country, that we, musicians and sporting figures who are like, yeah, obviously we need this.
And I mean, I'm happy to say openly, obviously, I'm voting yes.
I've already voted yes.
I have already voted yes too, actually. We both early voted.
Appreciate you guys.
No, of course, absolutely. But, Sunday morning, Briggs, you wake up, and what if the answer is no?
If the answer is no, it's just the status quo. That's no is now. The world's not going to turn on its head. If it's a no, it's just going to be more of the boring same.
Obviously, this is a tricky time for, I'd imagine, a lot of Aboriginal people like yourself, this being brought to the forefront. Has it been tricky living through this and the campaigns of yes and no either way?
It's been a juggle, man. And, I feel like I've done a year's worth of work in about 4 weeks. But you know what it has done as well, man? It's really lifted my spirits to see how many really solid, great people there are, how people have answered the call and stood up, like the Hilltop Hoods and Jimmy Barnes and Taika Waititi even, people who have stood up and lend their platforms and lend their voice and do the most, and the burden is always on the yes side because people want to know the detail. People want to understand what a referendum is and what it could look like and what it may turn out to be. The no is lazy. The no just has to say no, more of the same. You know what I mean? Like the no doesn't have to answer to anything except no, it doesn't. It's divisive. It doesn't work. They don't offer a pathway or a vehicle to say no. We're going to say no because we want this kind of outcome for Indigenous people, and this is how we're going to do it. It's just no.
I think that's one of the things that's one of the little campaigns that shits me is that, if you don't know, vote no. And it's like, and I think the other side's
I
saying,
haven't
well,
seen that one.
it's like if you don't know, then find out. Like what? Like it
my
almost feels like it's
like
preying on those people
what an Orwellian take, to be like, if you don't know, vote no. Like, don't you want your voting Australian to be educated and informed? Wouldn't you want that?
And that's
to be able to make an informed decision. Like Peter Dutton likes his supporter base stupid and pliable.
But that's exactly what this fantastic campaign video has done. It's gotten the message out there. All you need to do is a simple Google. It's so simple. And like you said, Briggs, it's been shared by some really, really influential people for a good reason because it is a fantastic video. So thank you so much for joining us and giving us your time in this crazy week that is. We really, really appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys for lending the platform and having a chat.